Hello and welcome back to Conquest Creations. In this video, it's my Harad army going up against Jordy's filthy alliance of Erebor and the White Council. Jordy and I are playing in the Melbourne Slow Grow League. We're both doing pretty well, so I think the winner of this has a good shot at making the finals, so the stakes couldn't be higher. Both of us have gone with very unconventional color schemes for our armies. My army, as you can see here, is rocking Mahud with pink skin and teal accent colors, while Jordy's dwarves have the awesome forged weapons. Alright, let's get into it.
G'day team, Jordy here from Two Towers Podcast. I brought a really cool list today. So I've got Saruman, the white, the good, who's allied himself with Thrain, Thorin, and a bunch of vagabonds from Erebor. So once Thror died, Saruman's come in, he's got his sticky fingers in, and he's going to try and recruit these dwarves to his side. In the last battle report, I did pretty well against Jordy, and look, I'm here to put him in his place again and show him who's in charge here. My army is Harad. I've got 3 Mahud kings on camels. These guys hit so hard. I've also got 9 cavalry and a decent amount of infantry with 1 extra tribes master for a bit more might. We're up against Mahud today. I've got a few key advantages. The big one is defense 7. So the Impalers are now on a 6 up, which is huge. And of course the fight 4 against the fight 3 Mahud. So
we're playing Lords of Battle in this game, so it is just see who can kill each other better. And for this battle, we're playing on one of my new boards. These are the outskirts of Bree, and eventually I'd like to expand this board into being the full city of Bree. So none of these trees are on the outside, but for now, this is all I've gotten done. And that took us straight into deployment. Now, I have a 12-inch range on my blowpipe, so I've got a good range threat, but Jordy does have magic and a lot of throwing weapons, so his range threat is still powerful, but very different. For that reason, we both deployed relatively high up, and this board has some big choke points, so it's really important to look out for those. Jordy's got the higher fight, but he does have lower numbers than me. So we've got our armies deployed on the table, and it's time for first turn priority. Good luck, Jordy. Let's see it.
good luck.
I'm on a 6
Can't be that.
to your 2. You got any heroics to declare?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
You're all good.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting move phase. And interesting certainly is one way to put it. Now, I want to get stuck into Jordy as quickly as possible with my Mahud Kings because I know that he's got Sorceress Blast on Saruman, and that's going to knock them off their camels. Now, these guys are great, but when they lose their camels, they lose a lot of their hitting power, and I know that they're Jordy's first target, so I want to capitalize on this hitting power while I still have it. Now, importantly here, one of my Mahud Kings was able to go directly into Jordy's Erebor captain, who's being played by the new Thorin III model. And I just wanted to keep him safe so that none of Jordy's big heroes on the other side of the battlefield could get to that Mahud King, and we built our line ready to do some blowpipes. So I've sent this 1 camel into Thorin, and his Impaler got a 6, so that's a wound. Jordy, you going to blow some fade or save it for later?
No, we'll save it for later.
Alright, but a good early wound. Now, you might be interested in why I decided to throw one of my Mahud Raiders in. These guys are expensive points-wise and really strong, so I don't want to be wasting them. But my logic there was, if I can charge into Thorin and keep him away from my lines, then he's going to stay out of the fight for longer. Now, also, he can get close to me if he calls a heroic combat, but the rest of my guys are still outside of his movement, so he wouldn't actually get Thorin into the fight. Now, he is advancing with his soldiers, but none of them are within their movement range. Importantly, Thrain is able to charge into that raider and wrap around, getting as close to my guys as possible. And he stacks on, so he's definitely calling that heroic combat.
Saruman is going to join the combat and call the heroic, just to save might on the big heroes. But as I'm coming through, I'm going to try and stop this hero from killing my captain.
What spell are you going to use?
I'm going to go with the blast.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll 2 from the store it as well. So we're throwing 3.
Yeah, interesting. 3 with a reroll as
I
well.
just want the big number to frick up your resistance.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got the big number.
You've got the 6, so I'm going to use both of my will points here to try to resist this. I'd love a 6.
I'd love a couple 3s.
2 3s, very disappointing, but that's what magic does. So I will be knocked prone. You do a strength 5 hit to me.
Very true. Needing 5s, I reckon. And I'll do your Throne Rider as well.
Yep.
Needing a 6, I reckon.
Nope. And your captain will also take a hit here.
Very true.
And he's taken a wound. All right.
Fucking hell.
Nice. I'll take that.
Fair enough.
So this was unfortunate, but I knew that I should have expected it from Saruman. And here we are at the end of the movement phase, taking us into shooting. Now I have 3 camels here who moved half, and they're all going to shoot into this combat. It would be hilarious if I could kill my own camel and deny Jordy his heroic.
Oof, that would be huge.
All right, so normally I hit on 3s, but I moved, so I'm hitting on 4s. There's 2 hits.
Okay.
Now there's crates and barrels in the way, so see if I get past them. 1's gotten through. Now does it hit me or does it hit you? It hits you, okay.
Kind of.
So that'll be on Saruman. Is this up or down? It's hit Saruman's
Oh, no.
horse.
No.
Here we go. I'd love to kill Saruman's
Don't do
horse. That's it.
That's a wound.
That is Saruman's horse slain.
Throne rider, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. You're fine. You can't strike blows though. That's a pretty huge effort from 3 blowpipes in there.
Hell yeah.
So that is the start of the combat phase. Jordy, do you have any heroics to declare?
Yeah, my grand plan's still in motion. I'm going to call a heroic combat with Saruman.
Yeah, that's not surprising. And given that I won't be able to strike blows if I win that fight, I'm not going to worry about striking in there. So,
Well,
let's...
the question is...
Oh, you are within 5. Okay. Well, if you are within 5 with Thrain, I will be striking. And that was an unfortunate misplay from me, Thrain getting in range. So, Jordy, you're considering going into my king still, even though I struck?
Yeah, look, if you whiff... Oh, you've got 6 dice, but if you whiff, you are dead. Like, full stop dead. The trick is just killing Mahuds and breaking you is also a worthwhile endeavor. So it's a tough call.
So, Jordy, what's the decision?
Yeah, we'll apply lethal pressure on the king. 1 big whiff, and he's gone.
Nice. So that was a big misplay. Let's break down what actually happened. Now, I knew that Thrain was further than 5 inches away from me. Same with Thorin, but I didn't want them getting closer, so I threw the cavalry in to tie up Thorin so he wouldn't be able to move. But because of that, Thrain was able to move closer to my king and then bounce off the heroic combat to go in. A lot of moving pieces there, misplay on my part, but it's okay. On the other side of the battlefield, my king managed to get a few kills, but elsewhere, I really didn't do that well this fight phase. And it's time for the big fight. So it's my king fighting Thrain and your captain. Now, I'm going to roll my strike first. I'm up to fight 10. So I haven't botched that one. And now, because I've been knocked prone, I can't strike blows even if I win the fight. So I will be shielding, giving me 6 dice. Let me see if I get the 6 to save Jordy from even rolling.
No.
There's a 6. All right, I've survived. I've just pushed them back. And your captain is still prone.
He's on his
stood
back.
up. And at the end of turn 1, I've done 4 wounds. Jordy's done just 1. Let's see priority. 2 to 6 goes... Well, I was going to say goes evil, but I'm evil in this game. Well, I will be calling a heroic, which I'm sure isn't surprising. I'm going to be doing it with my Tribes Master in here.
For sure.
Are you going to counter?
Yeah, I think El Capitan will chuck the heroic.
El Capitan, all right.
So it gets a bunch of
That's
boys.
a decent amount of guys, yep. Cool, all right. Well, you've got priority, so let's see the roll-off.
I do, and I'm a good boy. Goes to good.
Goes good, so it's your move. Now, movement is a really big deal in this game because Jordy has a bunch of Grimhammers who have throwing weapons. When a model with a throwing weapon charges, they're able to use their throwing weapon. So he's essentially getting free damage output on me because he's moved first. And he's just getting as many guys in as possible and importantly, getting those heroes in because they're going to be able to rip through my troops. And you can see there, he just killed one of my models with his throwing weapons. That hurts because there's nothing I can do back to him in that situation. So now that Jordy's finished his heroic, it's my turn to go with my heroic. I'm not going to call with me, so my hero's just going to move on his own. And even though he's really good at killing Jordy's guys, he's just going to step across so that next turn, everyone's going to be within 6 inches of him. So that my Tribes Master, whose might points don't matter as much to me, can be spent on moves instead of my kings.
Alright, so to prevent him from striking, I'm going to do a 1 dice immobilize from Saruman.
Alright.
Need a big 2. Of
Oh,
course.
but it is re-rollable.
I'm the Lord of Istari.
There we go. Okay, so I am immobilized. I won't be able to strike. Can Thrain kill me in a turn? Still not convinced. You charge it.
Yeah.
Wow, you've just charged in with Saruman.
Saruman's a chat.
All right, I'll take it. So charging in with Saruman was a very strange choice and one that I definitely wouldn't recommend to those of you at home. Saruman is a wizard, which means he casts spells, and he casts spells when he moves. That means that if I get to move first and I charge into him, he won't get to cast spells this turn, and then he's essentially a 170 point, maybe 180 point guy with just one attack. That's not great. Now around the battlefield I had some of my cavalry getting around the side. Because my base is so big, I wasn't fully able to get everyone in this initial choke point, and elsewhere I'm just charging more guys in, making sure the line is optimal for me and getting my banner into the right position. And in Jordy's shooting phase, he started by taking down my camel. Was that everything you had?
Yeah, it's all the daggers.
Alright, I've got a few blowpipes back. So that's the end of the shooting phase. That takes us into the combat phase. Jordy, do you have any heroics to declare?
I do. A couple of heroic combats. So
Okay.
Thorin, so that he can jump in there, and then Thrain, so that he can hopefully kill the troll anyway.
So just want to confirm here, if Thorin fights in his heroic combat and he kills this Mahud, then he charges my Mahud King, he can't move and fight again. So why have you called it with Thrain as well?
So the idea is, it's what we call a heroic waterfall. So Thorin will jump into this combat and contribute both 3 attacks in the dual roll and then 3 attacks to kill. So right now, for Thrain to kill him, it's like maybe a 60%er. But if Thorin jumps in with some might behind it, it goes up to like a 95%er.
So then once they kill him, Thrain can go and fight again even if Thorin can't.
Yep.
All right, let's hope that doesn't happen, and we'll start with your heroic.
Yep. So we'll go with Thorin first, of course.
So I'm going to shield with my 1 Mahud in there.
Very smart. This will be Thorin.
You've got the 6, nothing I can do about that. You've also got a couple of friends. Oh, no, you
One
don't have
spearman,
friends.
just
Yep.
one friend. But we'll see if Thorin does the deed. He sure
And he
does.
has, okay. So that will take out that guy there.
Yep. And in we go.
All right.
King.
And now it's time for your next heroic. So my king is a bit of a chicken, and he's going to shield in there. So
Is
it's going
he
to give me
transfixed?
6 dice. He is transfixed. You're right. So I cannot shield. Good
No
point.
shielding for you.
I'm on a 4 at the
Oh,
moment.
no.
You're on a 6. Nothing I can do about
You're
your
mobilized.
6. So can you kill me?
So this will be the Thrain train first.
Now he needs 4s.
Needing 4s to wound. The lights.
Well, that's
We'll do
3
it.
wounds. All right. That's done. And where's Thrain going to end up?
I think he just wants to go and fight a troll.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can kill those half trolls, that'll slow me down a lot.
And thanks to the Lords of Battle, the special rule A Time of Heroes has procced. So I just got Blood and Glory. I gained a point of might.
Yeah, so he called it heroic combat, but he got it that point of might back. So certainly not a good moment for me to lose a king like that, and you can see in the wound tally, Jordy is now doubled me. Now, this isn't a good start, but I'm not too concerned yet because we've got a lot of play still, I've got a lot of might, and we've got a lot of killing to do. Now, somehow Saruman managed to kill his opponent, which is impressive because he wasn't there in the theme at all, but hey, maybe that's why he's running into combat. Now, I really do want to make the finals of this slow grower league, so the pressure is on. While I'm behind, I know I need to catch up if I want to make the final series. And at the end of the fight phase, that really hurt. Jordy just got a lucky kill on a half troll, wounding it twice in a row. So that's going to go into priority for next turn. At the end of this turn, I've done 6 wounds to Jordy, and he's done 12 wounds to me, so he's put out a lot of damage. Let's see the priority roll.
Priority.
I'm on a 4, you're on a 4, goes to me. Do you have any heroics to declare?
Yeah, the question is, I could Ring of Durin, but because we're both just going to call a heroic move anyway, I'm not going to bother, and I'll call a heroic with Thorin.
All right, I will call one with my Tribes Master in there. I really need this one. I've got priority, 1, 2, 3 is going to go to me.
Oh,
Goes to you, that's not good at all. So I don't want to let this situation snowball, so I know that I need to slow down Jordy's heroes. And with the throwing weapon in the move phase, took down a Mahud there.
you'll just continue charging.
And what's next? Is that Saruman's move?
Yes, we're going to get Saruman to go, because I want to see the result of this spell before I make more decisions. I'm going to throw... Look, I've still got 4 in the tank. I'll throw 2, because again, I want the big number. I'm actually going to go for a transfix here.
All right.
On this Mahud King.
On my king. So is that 2 from your store?
Yes.
All right.
So I'm chucking 3.
So let's see the roll. And you've got a
Not the big
reroll,
number.
but you've already got the 6. Look, I have to spend my will points there because I need to resist it so I can still strike. There's a 6.
Oh.
Okay, so it only costs me 1 will point in that case. I've resisted it, and because it's a 6, I get it back. Where does Saruman want to finish that move?
He's just going to charge into a goober. Yeah.
Nice. And around the other side, Jordy's managed to get the charge into my king. No surprise there. It's just unfortunate because I won't get my charge bonus, so I'm down on attack and the knockdown. That's another reason why that heroic move was such a big deal. Now he's trapped that king in there and he's got Thrain and a captain, so if he manages to win that fight, that king is 100% going to die. So I'm going to call a heroic strike. I'm expecting him to call a heroic strike, and hopefully I can win that one. Now this is around the back where my cavalry is finally coming in, and we're charging in, trying to do as much damage as possible so that we can hopefully rescue the king next turn if he survives. Now the rest of this cavalry is charging in, which is good because I'm managing to get a couple wounds in the movement phase, which is a really helpful thing to get, clearing out some of Jordy's guys. And the rest of my army is now arriving around the back, so hopefully next turn I can start to envelop Jordy. As long as my main force hasn't taken too much damage by the time everyone else gets there, I should be able to get some traps, which is definitely going to take me one step closer to winning this game. And in the shooting phase, blow darts flew and throwing weapons went back, but no one died, so that takes us into the combat phase. Now, unsurprisingly, I'm going to be calling a heroic strike in here with this king. Jordy, do you have anything to call for yourself?
Yes, Thrain Train will strike back.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. Anything else?
Thorin could get your banner, but it means I have to kill both of them.
You have to kill both, yeah.
I actually won't risk that. That's too much.
All right, cool. Well, that'll just go into the combats.
Banner.
Now, because the rest of my force is arriving around the back, my goal for this combat phase is just surviving, so I'm going to be doing a bit of shielding where I need to. Unfortunately, Jordy killed one of my cav that could have potentially gotten me 2 kills, and Thorin managed to wipe out 2 of my warriors, which really hurt. On the next fight, I lost, but I managed to back away in a way to keep my banner as safe as possible. Now, I did manage to win some fights, but needing 6s to wound is not usual for Mahud because we're at strength 4, and I wasn't able to get many of the kills that I needed. So things are really starting to snowball here, and things are really starting to look bad because I didn't win any of the key fights where I could have gotten lots of kills. And now we're into the big fight. And we're into the last fight of the turn. It's my Mahud King fighting your Captain, Thrain, and a warrior. Now we both struck, so let's start by seeing what 5 values we get.
Big number.
I'm on fight 8, you're on fight 10, so you're above me. That's not a good start for me. I'll set the bar for you.
Sure.
It's only a 3. I'll do my banner roll now.
Jesus.
Well, that's
this will be the Thrain Train.
Not good. Okay.
That beats you because you can't might yet.
Yeah, I've only got 1 might left. So can you kill me?
Alrighty. So you're not trapped.
Not trapped. Not anymore.
Thrain Train on 4s with 2 might in the tank.
Yep.
Okay, that is probably a spend right there.
Yep.
Capitan needing 5s. Well, that's 2.
There we go.
Alrighty.
Slain.
Wow.
That's not good.
Alright, so with Blood and Glory back on the captain, because he was an absolute unit and copped that turn 1 charge. Yeah, that's it for the turn.
Alright, well that'll go into priority. And I might be close to broken. I'll have a count. Oh, it goes to you. Well, given that you just killed my last 2 might points, I've only got might over there. That just goes to you. Have at it.
Alrighty.
And at the start of this turn, where priority's gone to Jordy, I am unfortunately broken. Now, everyone in the Mahud army is only courage 2, except for the heroes. My tribesmaster is a whopping courage of 3. Now, my king is actually good at courage. He's courage 5 with 2 will points still. But the important thing is, if my heroes are in combat, that all Mahud within 6 inches of them auto pass their courage. Alright, and that's your move, Jordy. You gonna do anything to my tribesmaster or leave him be and see if he runs away?
I will leave the tribemaster be. The interesting thing is that king. If I transfix him or just sorceress blast him and he doesn't get to do his courage, that could be a bunch of running camels.
And what have you decided to do with Saruman?
I'm actually going to try and compel the king, because if he fails the resist, he won't get a stand fast this turn, and that really jeopardizes these guys.
Alright. I've still got my 2 will to resist, so let's see what you can roll here.
I'm spending 1 from the store. Alright, so we've passed, but let's try and get that 6.
You've got 4, okay.
I don't... how much might does Saruman have? Just
Saruman? He's got 2 there still. He's only called the heroic combat early on.
Yeah, I might actually bump it just by a single digit.
Okay, going to a 5.
Make it a 5.
I'll use both of my will points here. Oh no, it's not good.
The bug mattered.
Well, you can move me.
Are you gonna let it go?
Yes, I'll spend the 2 might to pass
Whoa.
that. There's not another option, because otherwise I lose all those guys.
Yeah.
So he's out of will, out of might, so that was a very, very effective spell from Saruman.
Nice.
And where's Saruman going to end up?
Yeah, we're still gonna be a Chad, and we'll charge in.
Just keep fighting. And this isn't good. Losing all my resources like that certainly feels very bad. So it's at this point that I'm worrying I might not be making it into the final series. I've talked about trying to stop this snowball, but as more throwing weapons go in and they kill more of my cavalry, I'm starting to think that this snowball is rolling and there's not a lot I can do about it. And that goes into my move phase. Now, my Tribes Master needs to pass a courage test or flee the battlefield. He's got a 6, he's courage 3, but he has a point of will, so he is still standing. And you know what? Saruman is looking pretty juicy.
Nice.
He's your leader. I reckon I can put some damage on him. Now, next, this king who spent all his resources to pass to compel wants to go after Thorin. Even though I've got the lower fight, what else am I going to do? But we've got a camel in the way who needs to move first. So this guy has to take a courage test.
Oh.
And he has fled the battlefield. And then that king is going to take a courage test.
Oh no!
Well, he has fled the battlefield too.
Never mind.
And yeah, this is not great. Sometimes getting a bad roll feels bad, but at the end of the day, that's what the game is. So I chose to laugh that one off and watch the rest of my army start to flee, but my one camel made it into Thorin. Okay, and we're going into the combat phase. Obviously, there's not a lot of Mahud left, but there is still something to cheer for. Jordy needs to get 3 times the amount of wounds that I've dealt to get the biggest possible victory. And I've dealt 13 wounds. Currently, Jordy's only on 28. So he needs to get to 39 in order to triple me.
Easy.
Which is possible. I've got 13 wounds left alive on the table. So, let's see if he can triple me.
Chase that tree, baby.
See if you can get that 12-0. So before we go into the fights, Jordy, do you have any heroics you want to declare?
Yeah, look, I'm going to rub it in. I still have a bunch of might. We're going to call a heroic with this captain to get the Thrain train moving.
Yeah, you really are rubbing it in here. Well, I've only got 1 attack.
No, that's
I'm
not
on
bad.
3.
Let's see if the captain can solo.
Oh, I've got a banner though.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay.
Captain solo. Easy.
Yeah, so he takes down my camel rider.
And Thrain will kill the camel. Easy.
So it's another 2 wounds for you, and where do they want to end up?
He'll just charge in and they'll do whatever. Yeah. Hiya.
Nice.
6.
Yeah.
Priority rider, but yep.
Yep.
Just 2. Alright, so Thorin the Chad Shield, he's going to call 2 arms. Basically give himself +1 to wound.
So gives everyone around, every dwarf within 3 inches of him +1 strength. Now that would have maybe mattered more if the king and all his lads had survived, but no, he called 2 arms and that scared off my guys. So it is now truly the final stand of the Mahud, and some of these guys are not doing a very good job of standing, getting cut down. But then this guy managed to win his fight, pushing back all those dwarves, and my other Mahud lost his fight, was pushed back and slain, but my guy against Thorin managed to survive. Alright, things are going well. Thorin failed to kill the camel, so Jordy won't be able to triple my wounds. And now I've got a chance to get on the scoreboard here. My Tribes Master fighting Saruman. If I put a wound on him, he's the leader, so that'll get me points. I'll set the bar for you. It's a whopping 4. You've only got 1 dice, though.
Big Saruman. What a Chad!
Alright, how much damage can you put on the Tribes Master?
Alrighty. 1 hit.
That is another wound. I won't spend the fate.
Oh my god.
And on the roll of a 1 or 2, the game is over.
The 3+ is a tabling. Come on.
Hey, okay, game is over. Hey, I've got 3 guys surviving this battle, so that's alright. Man, that was brutal.
So, clear MVP, Saruman. That magic was freaking insane. I mean, MVP, Jacob's Paul rolling. So, I said I was going to smash him and put him in his place, but that was a 10-0 loss, so not my finest hour. Anyway, good luck to Jordy for the rest of the league, and thank you for watching.